Good evening, everyone. Uh, this is Matt from Eastern U.S. Weather, and today I'll be talking about the potential snowstorm for the northeastern part of the country. And I believe that our friend Carl will be talking about the severe side in another video upcoming. But I'll be talking about the possible snowstorm that the Northeast could be facing yet again this Friday into Saturday. Okie dokie. So as you can see here, this is my older snow map and rain map that I put out for the whole eastern half of the country a little while ago. And now, although this map isn't really valid, I can kind of guide you about where where things have changed. Okay, I'm not going to get into any of this severe weather down here. Carl's going to be doing that, but there is a potential for it. What I am going to be getting to is in this snowy area up in the northeast. All right, and it's kind of a tough forecast as the models have been kind of all over the place. And when I put this forecast out, this is what the models were looking like. It was looking like that interior sections of New England and upstate New York were going to get hammered with quite a storm. But now I can go off this map now and can tell you that it'll be very difficult for someone to get at least a foot, aka a foot plus, for several reasons, which I'll get to. But mainly, we can take away this little area in here. All right, so if you have that gone, oops, if you have that gone, then you have this next area to deal with, which is right in here, which I thought at first was going to be at least 10 inches, which now isn't going to be the case. More of the case is that the heaviest of the snow will be falling into this regions. Okay, um, it's looking like that parts of the regions I thought before, like interior Massachusetts, basically interior New England and upstate New York, all of these areas, not so much down here, they were going to get lots and lots of water, several inches of water, which those amounts have changed quite a bit. And due to the low snow ratios, it's not looking like they could see at least a foot. But now it's looking like that there could be an area of 9 to 12 inches kind of in here, like this, like that, and that there could be just an area of snow of lesser amount kind of in here, not quite all the way to Boston. Basically, as you work your way outside of 495, right about there, and points northward, there will be your precip. Especially also in northern New England, it's looking like they could be shaping up for a pretty good snowstorm. Alright? But as now I have somewhat realized that we won't be getting the precip. I mean, we will be getting the precip, and it's likely that in certain spots that there could be this precip falling in frozen form, that this frozen form could be ice or sleet, and that would be mainly along the variation line, which is basically right into interior sections of Massachusetts and along the border up there and off into the Catskills area of New York. And so what I look at to see if there's the potential for anything but rain or snow, I look at the levels of the atmosphere at specific times during the storm. And for this video, I'll be focusing on basically Saturday morning at 2 a.m. No, not Saturday morning. I'm sorry. It's Yes, Saturday morning. Sorry. Um, so here is the 850 millibar temperatures and winds. So here you have our area of impact up here. All right, you see that? That's the northeast. Um, and this line right here, right up through here, that is the 32 Fahrenheit line. This map is in Celsius. This down here, this is in Celsius. But 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So that right now at 2 a.m. on Saturday is right along the border of the Mass New Hampshire border. And below that, once you get along the Connecticut border, that's a little less. That's at 5 degrees Celsius, which you get the point. It's a little bit warmer. I'm not very good at calculating. La, la, la. Anyway, so that's the 850 millibar height. So it's showing that basically areas south of the New Hampshire border will be below or above, I'm sorry, above freezing in some of the highest levels of the atmosphere. Okay, so next I'm going to show you the 500, uh, 500 millibar height temperature and winds. All right, so let's see. And overall, it's colder. Okay, here's our -20. That's in Celsius. Okay, and that trends right up through here, and then our next contour is 10, and then 15 is right along here, and then 10 is kind of in here. So it looks like these sections, which I'm most concerned about, this potential for sleet or ice, will be between -20 and -10 degrees Celsius. So at this point, we're going from the highest levels of the atmosphere, which at 850, it'll be freezing to slightly above freezing in the highest levels. The mid levels will be at um, much colder, um, -15 to -10 degrees Celsius, more towards the 15 mark, probably around a 13.5 degrees Celsius below, which is at this point saw okay for freezing rain and sleet. All right. And then here is the 2M temps, which is 2 meters above the ground. And right in these areas, you can see this is all for 2 a.m. Remember, guys. So here's a freezing line just like this, cutting down through the Berkshires, up pretty much generally along the New Hampshire Massachusetts border. And then here's 35, cutting right through there like that. All right, so this is pretty much right above the surface. The air hovering right above the surface will be at or just above freezing. Okay, so we go from the 850, which is warmer, to much colder, to slightly warmer. All right, that's right above the surface. Okay, and you know, when you look for this stuff, you look for big differences in it between the levels of the atmosphere. Typically for freezing rain, you look for a warm upper level and a very cold lower level, and a warmer than the middle level, but not terribly warm, but still cold lower surface temp. Alright, so that's right above the surface, and here is the surface temps, which really you can compare them side by side. Isn't all too much different. Alright, but there's the freezing line again. right kind of up through there. And so this region will be in 32 to 35 and maybe a little bit more. And this is at 2 a.m. All right, so right there you have between all the levels of atmosphere, you have warm air aloft, then you have the middle levels, very cold, then you have right above the surface and the surface cold at or slightly above freezing for those areas that I'm concerned about. All right. So now you're thinking, well, it can be cold and it's not just like precipit's going to fall from the sky. So here is the hourly precip, the 6 hour QPF. Oh, can't see that, can you? Here's something you can see it in. Why is that not? Okay, that's not working. Up here you see it, okay? Still not sure why that's not working. Can I get anything else in here? Yeah, up there. There's the QPF, which is in inches in this. All right, so here's the areas that I am concerned about. Oh, sorry, up right into here. All right, well, more towards here, and right there, it is showing that this is the euro, and this is all in the euro, by the way. I like to use the euro because, well, at this point in the storm, most of the short-term models can't reach there, and I feel that the Euro is a good model overall, and it was the first one to really pick this storm out of the basket, and everything has been trending towards the Euro, especially lately. Also, the JMA is similar to the Euro. All right. Anyway, so here we have the area I'm concerned about. All right, and so you look at the colors. All right, and the storm center's down here, right off here. And this is 2 a.m. Saturday, right? And then, so you look at the colors, and then you look down here, and this is for 6 hours. And pretty much to sum up the general area, it's between 2.25 inches of water all the way up to pretty much a 3/4 of an inch of water. So a quarter to a quarter inch of water in 6 hours at 2 a.m. All right, so there will be the precip, and it'll be pretty high. So that's the case with that. Anyway, so there will be the water and all that at the time, and so here's another point that I'd like to make is that sorry, the sea surface temperature will be I mean, for this time of year, that's kind of perhaps a little bit below average. I'm not an expert on that, but you know, it's not. I mean, it's around 40, I believe that is. Yeah, in the lower 40s. All right, and so it's not like there's going to be easterly winds that are just going to be flowing this really warm, really thick air that will like bring the rain snow line all the way back here. That's not really going to be the case. The winds are going to be out of the northwest, all right, bringing in cold air from Canada. All right, so not too worried about that. But, in the upper levels, the air aloft is supposed to be warmer. All right, and as I run out of time here is the total precip from the Euro. So overall in a storm, it's showing for the area I'm concerned about um, up to almost 2.5 inches. And then here is the most recent snow map. All right, you see how there's more up in here and then a little less here. And there is percent rising. All right, everyone, I will see you later. I'll hopefully have another map out later tonight. All right, and this is Matt for now.